Rensport is a new sim racing title that is apparently coming out this year as a closed beta, with an hopeful launch next year. As a new sim racing title with basically zero footprint, they'll have a lot to climb to compete with the behemoths present currently in your hard drive. However, unlike all of the other sims present in the current landscape, it has a completely different business model that might raise some eyebrows, including my own. So what in tarnation is RENNSPORT? The site claims a few interesting things. According to the website, Rensport is not an evolution of an existing software. Starting from scratch, technological advancements in modern software architecture enable us to take the next step in virtual racing experiences. Then they also go saying that Rensport will feature Unreal Engine 5 with collaboration with Epic Games. Though regarding the sim side, they say, since then we push the limits by benefiting from the know-how of leading car manufacturers as well as professional race drivers for the car physics simulations. There's an interesting bit regarding modding support. They say there will be toolkits for the modding community. Our goal is to give our community the tools to enhance Rensport with great user-generated content and let their creativity run wild. I am fully aware of the quote at the top, let's leave that out for a moment, but it's interesting to see modding is something that they mention. Starting from scratch, technological advancement in modern software architecture enable us to take the next step in virtual racing experiences. This creates stunning behind-the-wheel graphics and a wide range of options for user-generated content as an interactive community. Then the main last point regarding their overall racing format is about esports, where they say ESL, as the world leader in esports, is now ready for professional sim racing. In collaboration with Rensport, everything has been developed with the requirements of esports in mind from the very start. We believe in evolving fascinations about our sport and driving sustainable growth by introducing modern technology for audience interaction, professional broadcasting tools, and easy-to-share highlight clips. With this, the overall idea of the sim will be a scratch-made esports-ready sim racing title, with the center in online competition having ESL as a partner, maybe even a technical one. As online racing is becoming increasingly more popular, in theory having an esports-ready title with modern, cutting-edge graphics engine, with tools for broadcasting and modding support would be something interesting to see. I mean, in some ways, that's what people wanted for Assetto Corsa Competizione. However, a lot of things are left unanswered. Maybe in the future, they will have some clarity, as one point in particular sounds sketchy, to say the least. First of all, there's no indication of general content or what type of racing it will be featured. The two cars presented in the site are the M4 GT3 and the 911 GT3. There's one track on the screenshot which seems to be Hockenheim Ring. Rensport doesn't say what classes will be available, if there's going to be a faithful reproduction of a championship like SCC has, if it is going to follow something along the lines of iRacing where at least you understand the viability of the combination being used, or if this sim will have the modded content up front, like the quote, user-generated content as an interactive community quote is saying, that will have something along the lines of Counter-Strike in the past, even at ESL. I am aware that all of this is at the start of their campaign, however it makes me more weary than confident if the content applied, besides of a couple of cars, could be modded cars or modded tracks, and if so, what kind of modded content? Purely fantasy ones, or is this some sort of way to avoid paying for licensing fees? Or is it user content applied only with skinning? I know there needs to be some sort of curiosity gap applied to this campaign, otherwise there's less generation of talk online and videos like these I'm doing aren't done. Though there's something that particularly irks me and makes me very skeptical of this. We have this quote over here. You invest your time, spend money on your hobby, and what's yours in the end? Everything. With Rensport, you can build your own legacy with individual cars, custom tracks, and much more. Your assets will be owned by you, and you can trade them through the marketplace of your choice. As we are in 2022 and we have suffered through the crypto NFT farce and craze, that surely sounds like NFTs. It wouldn't even be the first racing title with NFTs in mind. There was a Formula 1 racing title that went bust. We're talking about the Formula 1 racing title, it's not one of the minor leagues. Though, if we take a step back, this quote could also mean a CSGO skin type market or a paid version of trading paints or thereabouts where Rensport would take a slice of the proceedings. That would be a monetization practice that isn't bad in my opinion, as it is totally optional. However, on Twitter, there's this little back and forth. Rensport actively avoids answering if this is about NFTs like the plague. The skeptical in me is saying then that, well, this sounds like NFTs, or at the very least they are probing the acceptance of these NFTs as a viable option for them, and if it's not viable for them, they will implement something like the Steam system. Continuing with that, it doesn't give me much confidence that the FAQ, much like the rest of the page, is marketing lingo. Much of the page of a racing game talks very little about what is important in racing or sim racing, and much of the talk is about technology unrelated to racing or sim racing. Even having a look at their job openings, they are talking about marketing and not sim racing development. I've tried to find more info about the motorsports and game development enthusiast owners of Rensport, which is and then competition company GmbH. This company has a central figure of Maurice Hebecker, and I found an article where he talks about the huge overlap between real and virtual. With virtual sports, for the first time, there is the possibility to transfer existing sports fans from the real world to the virtual ones. For virtual motorsports, this means a potential 600 million motorsports fans meeting 450 million esports enthusiasts. I'm sure something great will come of this. Indeed there is, but hopefully it doesn't move in the direction of NFTs. Until more info comes out, it is hard to say where this is going and what type of content and what type of sim racing game this is. But as the info stands, it doesn't seem like a good look. But anyways, what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments.